Welcome to the Gratefully Yours Wine Show. I'm Jim Campini, co-host of this show, and with Mike Pigeon, the wine butler. How are you doing this morning?
Good. I was able to fold up my umbrella and leave it outside. The sun's up in the sky.
We're coming to you from the InsideLowell studios in downtown Lowell. And this is Memorial Day, so this is a special Memorial Day program, and we're happy because the sun is out. We've had a spate of rainy days, and Mike is right. Usually over Memorial Day weekend, the beaches open up, but the weather's been cool and everything. Maybe today they'll get some people down there at the beaches. And I know where I grew up in Rhode Island, it was the big day to open the public beaches, down in Narragansett and South Kingston and stuff. So did you open your pool at your place, the swimming pool?
No, I got to get one before I can open it.
All right, so today, I thought you had a swimming pool, no? It's called a bathtub, isn't it?
A bathtub,
yeah. All right, so, but today, with the Memorial Day, usually begins the start of the summer season. We know that, according to the equinox, the summer starts, June 21st and stuff. Okay, we know that. But no, traditionally, this is when the summer starts. The kids will be getting out of school over the next couple of weeks, the public schools. And with that, people's outlook starts changing. We start looking towards drinking wise, rosé. It's a nice time for a cool, refreshing, energetic drink. A little color in your glass, sometimes a little sparkling wine. So today, Mike and I have come up with a nice, which we usually do every year, a nice selection of rosés from different countries. They have different colors and different grapes. And I think that's the fascination with rosé, that now, they used to be 10 years ago, you drank a rosé, it was basically all from France but everybody, it seems, has a rosé. Every country,
They've all jumped in now.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you can make rosé from any grape that you want.
Any grape.
And they're usually made from red grapes. And the colors change depending on how long they keep the juice when it's first pressed on the skins. Remember, that's where the color, the extract from the skins. So the longer that skin is in contact with the juice, it picks up more color. You can see the colors here. Oops, there goes my thank you, Teddy Panos. You can see the different colors. This is almost translucent. It's white. So that means that those grape skins are basically kept away from the juice. Really, it might be the free run juice just must go right over it, crush it, and boom, right into the filter, the tank. This is a little more color. This is our The Beach by Whispering Angel. So this is the sister to Whispering Angel, one of the top-selling rosés in the world. And this is from France, southern France. You see that? A little pinkish, huh? A little orangey pink. It's got a little color in it. And then this is from Sicily, Planeta, which is one of the top wineries in Sicily and throughout of Italy. And different grapes. We can go through those as we taste these. But it's light, huh? It's hardly.
I'm looking at the color or lack of thereof and wondering if that's why they come up with all these fancy bottles for rosé now, to give it a little more feeling. Because they're flat in color when you put them all together like that, but that's what they are.
So when you hear me say free run juice, so what this means is they crush the grapes, and they don't crush them hard. They press them very, very easily. And it's that first juice that comes out of that grape. It goes down through the the tank, the funnel, and into a second vat, steel tank. Okay, and that's why they say it's the free run juice that comes out. It's got very, very little color, even though they're red skinned grapes. The pulp is white. Okay, and how they how they determine the color is if they crush it, they crush it a little deeper and let that juice settle in on those grapes for a while before they open up the tank and let the juice come out. They call it the free run juice. So that's how you get the little color, and it's only fermented, for minimal, maybe 6 hours. And sometimes that's all it takes for the juice to sit on the skins to really add color to it. So you can see where this is a Sonoma County from Rayburn. Their process is, hey, simply press that grape, let it run, and let's collect that juice as it comes out with minimal contact with the skins. Does that make sense, Mike?
Oh, yeah. And they don't put that many in, as you said, because they don't want to crush it completely. Right. So when that free flows, then they must put more grapes on top of the top ones before and let them, but never too much weight. So
That's right, because they don't want to get more extract in there
than necessary.
And yet, the grapes at this point are very fresh. The juice is fresh, and that's what gives it its distinctive. The rosés are made to be light, but now with the popularity of the wine, okay, the French several years ago started making rosé almost like regular wine. They spend more time with it. They allow more time for it to stay on the grape skin. They add a little more texture to it, a little deeper concentration and flavors. And some of those bottles from Provence and the top wineries could go for a couple of $100. Rosés run from anything from $10 up to $30, but it's mostly a $15 to $20 wine. The top, like I said, Whispering Angel is one of the top selling rosés in the world. It goes for $19.99. Then you got the Chateau. You got the Merival, which is Brad Pitt's. And she's out of it. Angelina Jolie's out of it. But he's with the Perrin family right now, and they make a great rosé, Merival. That's the top of the line. That costs $19.99. It's in a round bottle, and that comes from. That comes from southern France. And then they have a second tier wine that's called Studio. You see the Hollywood imagery there, Studio with Brad Pitt, and that costs about $16 in the $16 range, and basically from the same estate. So you get a little you get a little tier. They're building these tiers of the rosé wines, and this is interesting. The beach, because the beach is from Chateau de Clan, which in Provence is a real top wine house, especially for rosé, that makes Whispering Angel. So this is the sister to Whispering Angel, the beach, from the same estate. And it costs $16.99. Whispering Angel costs $19.99. This costs $16.99. The grapes are the secondary grapes that they have left over. They pick the choicest grapes for the Whispering Angel. Okay, what's left over? Still good, still quality grapes. But they said, hey, let's make a second rosé and put it on the market. And it sold very, very well.
That's what I was thinking. When would a rosé cease to be a rosé? Say they put it, they darken it up a little bit, and then darken it up, and then all of a sudden, whoa, wait a minute, it's not a rosé anymore; it's a red wine.
Yeah, well, that's the truth. If you put it through the fermentation process, add the yeast to it, okay.
Now you get the wine.
Yeah, and you'll do that. But so let's get started. Where do you want to start with?
Start at your end. We'll go right down. We'll go.
Okay.
I've got a glass. I'm all set.
So through the years, California it still remains, a pioneering place for winemaking. And, as I've mentioned many times, the United States doesn't have restrictions or requirements for winemakers. That's why we're still pioneers in America. We can be more creative sometimes than these other countries that have authorizations from the government. They could only make wines from certain grapes in certain areas. Those areas are called appellations, and they have boundaries and stuff. So in California, any winery can make rosé, and a lot of them do.
Are these all the same grape, all three of these?
No,
they're all different grapes. So they're all going to taste different.
Yes. So Rayburn is a very quality, well-known winery, and it has this rosé. This rosé,
that's very light, isn't it? Very light.
This rosé scored 90 points from Wine Enthusiast. And that's a very good score for a rosé. I've got the chart here. Wine Enthusiast gave it 90 points. The winemaker is Stephen Erdberg, and this is made from 100% Pinot Noir.
This one here.
Now, usually rosés are blends. Well, I shouldn't say usually, but a lot of times they're blends. Like especially the French rosés. From southern France, they usually mix Grenache, Mourvedre, Syrah together, give it a little more color, a little more extract and stuff. The Italians do the same, with their indigenous grapes, their native grapes and stuff. So this is 100% Pinot Noir.
Nevertheless, you say Pinot Noir like it's a Pinot Noir, but is this an outlet for, let's say, inferior Pinot Noir grapes that weren't the top level grape? They can put them into a rosé.
No, I think this is all well intentioned, but the Rayburn has its own vineyards with where they grow grapes, but they probably have grower contracts also. But that's a good question. No, they portion off some of their vineyards for different things. You can see, yes, Mike makes a good point. The color. Look at that. Usually, when you get a rosé, you want a little color in the glass. If you're serving it at a celebration or a summer lunch or sipping it by the pool, a little color. Look how that's almost translucent, huh?
Very much so.
Yeah. So that means very, very little skin contact, and that is confirmed in the winemaker's notes that it receives very, very minimal skin contact to provide a light salmon hue.
We can do a tasting of it, and I like it, but I think I'd like it much more chilled. If it was chilled.
It was in the refrigerator all night.
Doesn't.
You want them more chill? What do you want?
Well, you probably took it out at 4 this morning.
Tooth cracking chill? Is that what you like?
Well, no. You call it chill.
It's very dry, crisp.
Yeah.
And yet it's got a nice. It's got a nice fruity cherry fruitiness to it, doesn't it? It's got a very nice.
No, it doesn't taste acidic at all. It's nice and
very balanced. And a light fragrance, almost like walking in Mike's apple orchard behind his house.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, well, we're taking down 3 acres of that orchard. Taxes.
I think it's a very, very. This will go nice with goat cheese, little wheat thins, light appetizers, seafood appetizers.
I think it'd be great to sip on a 90-degree day, but I'd still like it chilled.
Yeah, it is chilled.
Well, I need it ice cold. If
your
that's
palate
chilled.
is changing
If that's chilled,
as you get more ornery.
Remember, we walked up Market Street and Merrimack Street too, so it's
okay. So other details. This is 100% Pinot Noir from the Russian River Valley, which is a cool climate area for Pinot Noir. Very, very high quality Pinot Noir comes there. Now, what is the price on this, Mike? Would you give me a gander? What do you think this costs? This Rayburn Pinot Noir?
Probably more than it should be, but I'll say $16.99.
Wow, close. Only $2 off, which makes a big difference. $14.99.
Okay, yeah,
that's a pretty good
yeah.
deal, I think. For wine, like I said, wine enthusiasts gave it 90 points. And was this the 22 or the 23? Oh, this is the 22. I'm sorry. So this is the 22. It's not the 23. So the 2022 wine enthusiast gave it 93 points. I'm sorry. And these grapes, this is a blend of Pinot Noir, Zinfandel, and Grenache.
See, you're putting me off track here. You said it was totally... Yeah, I think they...
I'm looking at the 23 sheet. The 23 sheet is 100% Pinot Noir. So this is actually a blend of 3 grapes, Pinot Noir, Zinfandel, and Grenache. Okay? So they could have grower grapes from here, but yeah. So it does have a little.
I question the pedigree there, but it's very tasteful.
Yeah, very tasty and very nice. I think it's priced perfect.
So far, it's my favorite.
Yeah, and I like that. Okay, so now.
That's good.
Yeah. So now we're gonna go to the Rosé Sicilia. This is from Planeta, like I said, one of the top wineries in southern Italy, Sicily, and also in all of Italy. Now, this is another blend. This is 50% Syrah and 50% Nero d'Avola, the one at the end there.
Right here. We're going to do that next.
We're going to do that next.
Okay.
Okay. And believe it or not, now this is the same price as this Rayburn. So you can tell me penny for penny what you think.
I'm surprised it's not selling for $40 if it's been tariffed, you know? I mean,
I think this beat the tariff.
they beat the tariff.
And didn't our president, he's a great fan of Italian food. I think that he cut it back to 10%, everything from Italy, including their Lamborghinis.
I never saw our president drink a Trump wine.
No, he doesn't drink.
He doesn't?
He doesn't drink alcohol.
God love him.
No.
Okay, here we go.
A little more color, just slightly more. Now, Sicily, the Nero d'Avola, okay, usually grows in the northwestern Sicily and around Mount Etna, okay, the volcano, volcanic soils. So I expect this to be a little more mineral than the last one. Maybe a little crisper. I don't know.
You would notice that your palate's always been much better than mine, but to me, they taste so much alike. They're both very presentable, but you could weed those tastes out better than me.
A little more acidic.
Yeah.
A little more steely, like that. You
right
taste
there.
that middle.
Yeah.
And there's saltiness. Saltiness from the sea. A little marine. Oh, I like this because this makes you a little. This would go good with the appetizers with a little, if you had to put a little sauce on it or, a little cream but oh man, fish and even chicken. I mean, this is I like this one. This from Planeta, let me see. This is 12.5% alcohol. The first one, Rayburn was 13.5%, a little more alcohol. So these rosés, they get standard alcohol, just like regular red wines and stuff.
I thought they might be a little lower in alcohol.
Yeah, no. But that would be making them sweeter, And this has a floral component to it. It's on the nose, but yeah. Now let me see what they say here. How they do this? This comes from the Menfi Hills. 2 separate vineyards for Nero d'Avola and Syrah. The soil here is average depth, moderately limestone with mixed yellow and gray chalk. Moderately fine texture. Few stones present. So would you say this is drier than the other?
You know, Jim, if I was over your house and you gave me a glass of wine, didn't say what it was, and then you poured another one from it, I'd say it's the same one. I don't have those taste buds that you do. I'm too old, I think. It's so close. They're rosés and they're very similar.
This is a little, this one had a little more texture. This is a little cleaner, crisper. You know, it's like I said, it's got that, it's harmonious, but it's got that little more acidic taste to it. But that comes from the minerality, I think. You know, it says about the chalky soils. There's definitely a marine sea salt component there. And once again, you know, Sicily's the largest island in the Mediterranean, and you get all those winds coming up from Africa. It's called the Mistral, and so yeah, it plays well. It plays well. Let me just read you this tasting note from the Patricia Toth. T-O-T-H is the winemaker. The delicate color is reminiscent of the elegance of a prima ballerina.
No, that's
Floral notes of his hibiscus and dog rosé encounter hints of wild strawberries. Dog rosé. Dog rose? Is that dog rose? Dog rose. Is there such a plant as a dog rose?
I've heard of dogwood, but not
Dog rose. Never heard of such a thing.
I don't know what
I wouldn't equate anything that good with rosé that's from a dog. But anyway, hints of wild strawberries, blackberries, and melon. Lively and fresh in the mouth, recalling meringue and pale peach flesh.
Sure.
There's a lot there. I don't know these people. These people who write these reviews, I tell you, for the wineries, they should put it just in simple
I
English.
peach flesh in there.
White peach. But you know what? Half those things. I mean,
Well,
I don't know what dog rose is, and I don't think most people do. I can say one thing: it's got a sweet and salty. They play on each other and they go together, and does it very, very well. And I like this. It's got that citrus over cherry. That's the way to describe it. Citrus over cherry. Very nice, light, and refreshing. Okay. You want a little water?
I just had some.
Okay, let's have a little water. Then we're going to move to Provence, the beach,
The beach.
which has got a really nice summary label on it, right? The beach, you know, the name. And like I said before, this is from, you know, the sister of Whispering Angel, the same winery in southern France, the 𝐵𝐻𝐻, which is very famous.
The beach. That's the name of the perfume that Kramer on Seinfeld invented.
That's right.
The beach.
That's right. Yeah. He could have had a piece of this, you know. So this is a combination of 3 southern France grapes: Grenache, Cinsault, and Syrah. So let's see how it tastes. A little more color to it. Those three grapes, you know, are very, you know, they're red skinned, and they would add color in a fermentation process. So you pick up a little more pink.
A little more pink. Yeah, see that?
In this.
Yeah, pink.
So the extract process, the you know, gets a little more skin contact, I would say, than these other two, which brings out that little deeper color.
That's quite different on the nose than the other two.
Yeah.
That's quite different. I can sense that. Hope it doesn't taste like that, but I mean.
No, instead of that floral, it's got more of a berry.
Yeah.
Berry. Yeah, it's
those
a
two
little
were so
stronger.
close. I noticed this one being different right away. This is the one from Sicily?
No, this is from France.
From France.
This
The
is
other
from
was
France.
Sicily. France.
Yeah.
This is France.
Deeper flavor. What do you think?
It has a different taste to it for
Yes,
sure than
yes,
the other two.
Yeah. This is
No, it's almost like a perfume taste or something, as opposed to the rosé. Yeah, I don't know how to explain it, but different on the palate to get altogether than the other two.
yeah, it's different texture entirely, and the taste is.
You think it's the Shiraz in there that there's a? You know, we were never big fans. I wasn't a big fans of Shiraz.
I'm wondering if this gets any. It says no maceration, and they limit oxidation, aging on fine lees in stainless steel vats. I think that could give it. They age it.
Do you like the aftertaste in your mouth? No, it's strange.
Yeah. I don't know if I can. It's definitely different. It's definitely different, and I do like the texture. It's a little creamier.
Creamier.
Okay, but you're right. It's got an aftertaste.
And because it's creamier, it seems to stay on my tongue a little longer, and it's not something I'm crazy about actually. I like the other two.
But there's more flavor in this than the other two. And when I say that, I don't mean to diminish these other things, but with the 3 grapes, and I think the process of fermentation, it's just picking up more. Now, it does have that aftertaste, which could be like to you. You don't like it.
Yeah.
Myself, it's that strong berry component, red fruit, which is fine.
The red fruit,
but I can see where some people, if you want the crisp, clean,
I do. That's what rosé. Right. I'll go with
these
the first
two are the preferred.
That's what I want.
And then this one, if you want a little more.
Whatever it is, it's like a lotion on my tongue, and I keep rubbing my tongue against my roof of my mouth to get rid of it.
Well, that's for the world of wine, and why even rosés now are becoming a little more stylish, a little more complex. And if you've had Whispering Angel, it'd be good to taste Whispering Angel against this, because they're from the same winemaker and the same winery and stuff. But they do have their special attributes, and what makes them distinct about it. So when you look at it, this is 1699, the beach from Provence, which is one of the top areas in France, and one of the best places in the world for rosé. This is from Sicily. Different grapes entirely, Nero d'Avola and Syrah. Like I said, this is a 3-grape blend, Grenache, Syrah, and Cinsault. And then we have another 3-grape blend here, Rayburn from Sonoma County. This was Zinfandel, Pinot Noir, and also Grenache. So these two are rated. This Rayburn got 93 points from Wine Enthusiast. This had 90 points. The Beach is 90 points also from Wine Enthusiast. And like I said, these two are $14.99. This is $16.99. I just want to read what the winemaker said about this. Clear, expressive, and aromatic freshness on the nose, including aromas of red berries with hints of lime and lemon. Did you pick up any lime and lemon?
All those rosés will have a little bit of that in it.
And then the palate, subtle and smooth, balanced acidity and minerality with delicious citrus and red fruit flavors. Definitely the red fruit flavors come through, and it is smooth. It does have a texture, a little deeper texture than these other two. If you're looking for that, if you like that creamier rosé, But I think they're all fine. They'd be all great for a party with some light fare. And
red fruit. What red fruit do you taste in there? I'd judge a red wine,
Well,
by
red fruit as opposed to blue fruit, like definitely cherry, a little strawberry. Strawberry
Yeah,
comes
yeah,
through,
weak strawberry, and that
Yeah.
comes. Okay, all right, yeah, 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 yeah.
No, I don't
So,
think there's no blueberry,
no,
blackberry,
no, no, no.
Now, if we made a rosé out of Merlot, we might pick up those blue fruit flavors, and stuff like
Okay,
that.
yeah.
But I think they're all representative of rosé, and the
Rosé.
different varietals that go into them and what you can get. I mean, if you're a rosé fan like I am, you don't stick with one rosé. You try several different over the course of the summer. They're fun, they're engaging, they don't cost a whole lot of money, and your friends will appreciate it. They look great in the glass. Especially if you pick out a rosé with a little color, and you wouldn't be using this glass. You'd be using either a stem glass or something like that, almost like a champagne glass. And my wife likes to drink it out of the coupes. The vintage coupes and stuff, and they're always sharp, and it's a relaxing drink. Rosé is made to be a relaxing, refreshing drink, just like what Mike said. You want to sit down, enjoy it, the sun, and have a nice afternoon. Maybe a little cheese and crackers, a little light seafood, or even egg rolls, like they made from 𝐁𝐿owell.
Rolls, yeah, yeah.
Do we have Greek egg rolls? Not yet?
Not yet.
Teddy Peñas from the Athenian Corn is going to make some. And next time we have a show, I think, he's going to make some Greek egg rolls. It's about time the Greeks have an egg roll, don't you think?
Didn't we have some good food over there at that martini class, though?
Oh,
my
with
gosh.
Teddy, yeah.
That was good.
Teddy did a great job of that martini class that he gives. And
And the supper afterwards,
yeah,
delicious.
it was fantastic. So, no, that was good. So any closing thoughts at all, Mike?
No, as you know, I've never, I couldn't see myself drinking that unless it was the summer, late spring, summer.
Yeah.
It's that type of drink. Not a big fan, but interesting, like you said, and it's a good point you brought out about I like to try different types of rosé because they all have their own identity, and yeah, go for
I
it.
like to, I always think that rosé it puts me in a mood though.
Yeah.
And the sun's got to be out. I couldn't drink rosé on a rainy day, although I do keep a couple of bottles in the refrigerator during the winter. Okay, just to remind me that there is hope and faith for the spring and the summer.
Now,
coming,
if you have that hope, would you go for a few more dollars and get an inexpensive but reasonable champagne?
Oh yeah, I always got a couple of bottles of champagne in the refrigerator, and the wine goddess and I, just on the spur of the moment. Although she doesn't drink as much sparkling wine as I do. I like a good sparkling wine. I mean, if I had 𝐍𝐨𝐯𝐢𝐳 budget, I'd have my refrigerator.
You'd have your 4 bottles of crystal there.
Yeah, with champagne. If Daisy's out there, we say hello. But anyway, and by the way, with the health conscious, there's more and more wines and also rosés coming out now with a calorie meter on the bottle. So if you're counting calories, Kim Crawford from New Zealand, they have a rosé. Okay, Kim Crawford, known from their Sauvignon Blanc, they have a rosé on the market that sells for about the same in line with these, $15 or less, 70 calories for a 5-ounce glass. So I haven't tasted it. Maybe we'll try it sometime during the summer. But if you go out there and explore, try it. Let me know how it tastes and stuff. And there are other rosés, if you look at the rack, that are now coming out with, they actually give you a nutritional label on the bottle, which I think at the end of 2026, most winemakers it's a new regulation in Europe that they have to do. So the European wines will be coming in with a nutritional meter on their bottles. It's only a matter of time before the American winemakers do the same, because people are becoming more and more health conscious. So you can look at the bottle. There are rosés that are low calorie, and they are promoted that, you know, they don't take away any of the taste. It's just basically the way they do the process, the wines and stuff. They take out more of the sugars in the wine. So
if I'm taking a little break and sitting down with a wine and a little bit of snack, I'm going to look at the fat content and the calories in the food, not in the wine.
yeah.
I'm opening the wine and enjoying the wine.
Yeah. The only fat that you might get in wine is from the sugars, because the calories are meaningless there. But I mean the carbohydrates that are in there.
Carbs, hello carbs.
That's right, hollow carbs. So until our next show, this is Jim Campany and Mike Pigeon.
Salute.
May the wine be with you.